He's in the thick of things with respect to Prachar. There's also been a shift politically for him. Member of the 15th Lok Sabha, former union minister also. Now, shoe fitting all right on the other foot. Milind Deora ji, thank you for your time. Once again on the sidelines of another Prachar commitment.
That's right. I'm not wearing shoes, I'm wearing chappals, but yes. But no, it certainly has been the last 20 years. I've been in politics directly for the last 20 years. I joined politics, I would say, in 2004. I've seen it from childhood. I became an MP at the age of 27 in 2004, once again in 2009. In a way, it's nice to be back in Parliament. I'm now in the Rajya Sabha. Few grey hairs, I guess. Yeah. But it's also a little disorienting because it's the first time in 45 years that my family is not fighting an election from South Mumbai. We've been fighting non-stop continuously from 1980 onwards. And for the first time, the body clock is saying that you're not a candidate, but you have to now campaign for other candidates. But you know, ultimately, my goal and my higher purpose of why I enter politics stays the same. So regardless of which shoe you're wearing, taking Mumbai forward, helping Maharashtra grow economically, get stronger economically, working for India, working, I would say, in the larger context for humanity. These are issues that matter to me, and these transcend political ideologies and parties.
May I ask you, did you make the switch hoping to get the ticket from the NDA for Mumbai?
No, not at all. I'll tell you, I mean, there's no secret about it, because when I joined Mr. Shinde, you know, in life sometimes, I always believe, and I've always believed this, that sometimes, you know, ideologies and religion, they unite you, but they also divide you. I've always been a firm believer in ideas over ideologies and spirituality over religion. That to me transcends divisions. That in fact brings people together. And when I met the Chief Minister, he was very clear to me that I would like someone like you to join me. You have the skill set, talent that I require to grow, to expand, to raise the profile of Mumbai, Maharashtra, to attract investments to the city and state, to facilitate infrastructure and other growth in the city. And the only thing that was said to me was, we would want you to be in Parliament. Now, was that the Rajya Sabha route? Was that the Lok Sabha route? Which would come first? All these were, nobody knew what these meant.
Okay.
And ultimately in life, you know, I've been when I was in the Congress, I was out of Parliament for 10 years. I stayed loyal to the party for 10 years without any power, without any prospect of power. I gave back to the party that gave me a lot. I helped sustain the party for the last 10 years during its most challenging decade. But in life, regardless of which profession you're in, whether you're in politics, whether you're a journalist, whether you're somebody working as a salaried employee in a private company, you want to feel valued, respected, recognized for your talent and your hard work. Yes, there was a feeling that when I go here, I will be recognized, I will be valued, and I'll be given an opportunity to work.
So are you being recognized? Are you being valued?
I certainly believe so. And as I said, you know, the recognition can come in many ways. It can come in by means of a post. I was sent to the Rajya Sabha, which is back in Parliament after 10 years. It could be by means of a post to work. It could be by means of someone saying, regardless of your post or power, I like what you bring to the table, go out and work.
And continue to work.
Just continue to work. So those are the things which I think I was missing for the last few years.
But so there, let me ask you, why did the Congress party stop valuing you? Especially in Maharashtra Congress, there's such powerful leaders. And a lot of them have made the shift. You, Sanjay Nirupam, Chavan Saab, Ashok Chavan, so many others who have slowly moved away. It all started from...
You know, to be honest with you, I've actually moved beyond, what should I say? I mean, psychoanalyzing what's right or wrong with the Congress. And I have no ill feelings towards them. It's a party which my family has been associated with, was associated with for 55 years.
Yeah.
Most certainly we got a lot from the party. Most certainly my father and I did a lot for the party. But you know, there are sometimes there are, you know, when you when an organization moves away from rewarding merit and moves towards rewarding mediocrity, then someone who is meritocratic, has capabilities, skills, talents, naturally feels a little pushed away. And I don't know what the reasons are for other leaders who left in Maharashtra or around the country.
But for you, it is that from merit, it started moving towards mediocrity.
I think for me, what happened was I tried my best to improve the party from within. I tried my best from 2012, not even 14, when the party went from 210 seats to 44 seats. Even before that, I saw the writing on the wall, tried to improve things. I felt resistance whenever there was a constructive suggestion being put forward. And I felt resistance from a certain group of people who didn't want that feedback to reach certain people, who had a view that, this constructive feedback is dangerous. We should not encourage people to speak about what's right. And it happens in any organization. There's a capture in an organization where it can happen to any non-political organization also, where there's a capture of people who don't care about the prospects of that organization or the future of that organization. They're only interested in their own survival and their own preservation.
That's a very strong statement that you make, Milindji, and I want to ask you this because you had the ear of Rahul Gandhi. You could reach to him directly. So you could not bypass this coterie or grouping of people.
Again, there's no point analyzing that. Maybe it'll be left for my memoirs whenever I pen that. But there was a lot I was able to do. I was able to arrange, going back to 2018, I arranged his first trip overseas, which had a huge impact in allowing him to position certain ideas. But as I said, these are things which you can try. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail. I found it difficult at some level to be heard and to express myself freely, honestly. I could see certain mistakes that we were making, that the Congress was making at the time, which were going to lead to the downfall of the Congress. I tried to preemptively suggest that we should steer clear of that.
Likes of Manishankar Iyer, Sam Pitroda, the utterances that are coming from them, is this a problem within the Congress which has now become endemic, or are thinking individuals already have decided that they want to shoot themselves in the foot? How do you see this?
Honestly,
and do you agree with a lot of what is being espoused? Because these are all people who claim to have a close ear and their senior voices and advisory roles.
Look, to be fair and to be very balanced, these are individual voices. I don't know if these are party voices, but certainly people who are habitual offenders, people who have a habit of shooting their mouth off and cannot resist the lure, with due respect, of being in the media and of being seen and getting 15 seconds of fame, and for that are willing to say anything regardless of what impact it has in their own organization or their own poll prospects. Those people should be sidelined. Those people, ideally in an organization, their voices should be cut out. Why was it not done? Why is it not done? I don't know. It's one of a long list of many things we tried to suggest.
Right.
But there's many other issues, and when people often criticize those who've left, I always say, I'm the same person I was. My ideology is the same. In 2003, Anand, before I entered politics, in fact, there was an interview before I entered politics. I spoke, someone asked me, what do you think of an issue like 370? And at that time, with very limited knowledge, political knowledge, just a 26-year-old who read a little bit about the constitution, the temporary provision, I said, someone who loves Kashmir seems like we should look at removing it. If it can lead to better national security, if it can lead to better economic growth and development for the region. Today I can tell you, as somebody who's visited Kashmir 3 times, not once, 3 times after 370 has been abrogated, I've seen the biggest beneficiary of the abrogation of 370 is the Muslim Kashmiri youth.
Yeah.
The Muslim Kashmiri woman, young woman who's now working. I would never see a woman in the restaurant or in a hotel. Today I see women working in a hotel and restaurant. I see Muslim hotel owners, even though they may have tie-ups with ITCs and other hotels. they are interested in investing more in that state. So why were people deprived? And in fact, many of these issues, CA, Dr. Manmohan Singh as leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha in 2003, articulating that when Atalji was the Prime Minister, Advaniji was the Deputy Prime Minister of India. Dr. Manmohan Singh in the Rajya Sabha saying religious minorities in Pakistan and Bangladesh should be given citizenship. Who are religious minorities in Bangladesh and Pakistan? But when it happens, you oppose it. So these are issues also where people sometimes have stayed true to what they believe in. I believe in economic reforms. I'm a staunch believer in economic reforms, not for the rich, but for the common person.
Yeah, the have-nots.
When we today look at telecommunications,
Ji.
I was IT Minister of India. All these economic reforms, who is the biggest beneficiary? You and I, the common man on the street. My father, as a finance committee chairman of the Standing Committee of Parliament, worked with then Finance Minister Yashwant Sinha, Congress, BJP, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji Prime Minister, to pass the insurance bill, which allowed private sector in insurance. Who has gained? LIC has gained. Their revenue has grown. Their market share has obviously shrunk from 100% to maybe 40% today. But who is the biggest gainer besides LIC and others? The common person. More people have access to insurance. In fact, the common person is being virtually harassed by an insurance company. Take my insurance. Otherwise, they have to run to a state-run monopoly. So I'm a believer in those reforms. I'm a believer in Dr. Manmohan Singh's economics, where 91, when he passed, when Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh undertook economic reforms. But today, that same party is moving away.
So quickly, let me ask you, are you a votary of the Common Civil Code, you think, as part of the direct?
Again, I've always, old interviews again, where 2004, when I first entered the political fray, when asked about an issue like UCC, even then I said, in fact 370, I was the first one who tweeted saying it's a good thing. We should be open to the idea. And even UCC, today, what is a secular democracy? If you look at the West, I remember in America, when I was a student in the US, there used to be a raging debate about one particular sect called the Mormons, a group of Protestants, and they were very big in Utah.
Correct.
And they have the Mormon faith, I think, suggested that you could have more than one wife. And many other slightly draconian religious codes which were not in sync with America wanting to become a liberal secular democracy. They abolished that. And today America, whether you're in Utah, whether you're in California, whether you're in New York or in Rhode Island, the law is the same for everyone. So these are things which, if we want to really move ahead, we should do that. And a UCC is something which even the Hindu right may not be happy about.
Right.
The Muslim right may not be happy about. The Sikh right may not be happy about. But if you want to build a society where the laws of the land, the constitution is supreme over any religious law, any religious doctrine, where you're allowed to practice your religion, you're allowed to get married according to the traditions of Jain faith, of Hindu faith, of Muslim faith, of Christian faith. You can go to a temple, Gurudwara, mosque, church, wherever you want. But once you're married, certain structures are in
the
place.
Contractual framework is uniform
and
for
that's
everybody.
what a truly liberal secular democracy is, where the constitution precedes religion.
So I want to ask you this. Maharashtra, now the Shinde Shiv Sena has got the Dhanush Ban, so they are the real Shiv Sena. But they have a point to prove. Eknath Shinde will have to show his leadership, and he really deserves to lead the Shiv Sena. But it's so complex this time around. Can you also, whose plight is wares in Maharashtra all along, look at the scenario and say, how is it going to unfold?
Maharashtra has seen a lot of stability in its politics for the last 30, 40 years. A big disruption happened in 1999, which is 20 years ago, when Sharad Pawar left the Congress. It was a big disruption. But soon after leaving the Congress and fighting against the Congress in 1999 in the Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha elections which happened together, he joined hands with the Congress and formed a government in the state. The central government was Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji's government. So that disruption was limited. Yes, you saw people move away from Shiv Sena, you saw Narayan Rane, you saw Raj Thackeray, which I would say was a big disruption in Maharashtra politics. You saw the rise of Raj Thackeray in 2008 and 9.
Chhagan Bhujbal also was there.
Yes, there were many leaders. But 19, what happened when the then Shiv Sena joined hands with the Congress was something which nobody could imagine. As a former congressman, I could not imagine it.
Tectonic shift, no? Ideological
It was
poles
an
apart.
ideological tectonic shift. It was a tectonic shift where it was even bigger than Congress aligning with Chandrababu Naidu 5 years ago. It was a massive tectonic shift. And that has led to further disruptions. People in NCP were not happy. They went out, led by Ajit Pawar. People in Shiv Sena were very unhappy that people were joining with Congress.
Right.
They went out under Mr. Shinde's leadership and took away the Shiv Sena, the real Shiv Sena. I'll tell you, people in Congress, including myself, were very unhappy with that. I know people in Delhi to Mumbai who were extremely unhappy, without naming them again, left for my memoirs. Which leaders in Delhi didn't want this to happen? Still don't want it to happen. Because Congress also knew that when Congress has aligned with a party, that party ends up eating the Congress. And this is true of West Bengal, this is true of Delhi, this is true
Tamil
of UP, true of Tamil Nadu. In fact, Tamil Nadu and UP, it's been half a century where the Congress has
not been
failed
able to
to
come
revive
back.
without being dependent on these regional parties. Delhi with Aam Aadmi Party is a recent example. West Bengal is a recent example. So congressmen were aware of that. But now this disruption has happened. Ultimately, the test will happen on the 4th of June. And I'm confident that this alliance, the Mahayuti, the NDA alliance, is saying we are who we were. We stand for what we stood for. There is more confusion. Yes, there was time in distributing tickets, in agreeing on candidates. But once sorted out, everyone is working harmoniously. Everyone has a common agenda. There's no confusion. I still have a lot of friends in the Congress, in Mumbai and Maharashtra. I know how they are campaigning with the UBT Sena. I know how much confusion there is, how much ideological confusion there is, how much political confusion there is. So if you were to ask me, if you had to, as they say, put money on something, I would certainly say Mahayuti has a very, very good chance of coming very close to retaining their number, I think, of 41 seats in 2019 out of 48 seats in Maharashtra. And you're right, Maharashtra is important. Maharashtra is the second largest state in the country in terms of Lok Sabha seats. So Maharashtra is crucial for the NDA's performance. It's crucial not just for my party's performance, it's crucial for BJP's performance. And the parties are working together to deliver on the ground.
Well, fingers crossed on that. I know they're waiting to get you into the Prachar. Milind ji, great conversation, and I look forward to having many more conversations.
Absolutely.
It's the assembly elections next after the 4th of June. You've got to build up to October to December.
In 7 months, right after that, there's assembly also, you're right.
Yeah. So
And there'll be municipal elections, local body elections.
So at that time, you really have to get, you'll be hitting the ground hard,
Absolutely.
and we will be there in the thick of the action with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much.
Take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you. Namaste.